He felt like a shooting star with his pockets full of night. Halo snapped to a hook, and his prayers wouldn't lie. Down past the choir gates, where the cold waves roll, he landed in the seas of hell, with a hole in his soul. Sailor with heaven bright eyes turned rusted and mean, chasing a false little mercy in a chemical dream. Salt on his lips, ash in his lungs, hands shaking like rain. He swore the ocean loved him, but it only held his pain. Then fog split open like curtains on a stage, and there she was, a phantom ship, a sanctuary cage. Lanterns like sermon lights, skulls at the rail, and the captain stood steady when the storm started to wail. He thought mercy was weakness, he thought love was a lie, so he raised up his hunger like a blade to the sky. But she didn't flinch, she didn't plead, she didn't bargain or bend. She said, baby, I don't babysit a habit pretending to be your friend. She said, back to the sea, back to the deep. I don't crown drugged up ghosts who can't keep their feet. I'm a lighthouse, not a needle. I'm a vow, not a high. If you want my ship, you live. If you want that, you die. And the waves went quiet like they understood. He sank with his shame where the devil said he should. But the tide kept whispering what the captain already knew. It's better to be sober by a lantern than dead with the blue. Down there the water tasted like goodbye and regret. Every just one more time turned the chains around his neck. He saw his own reflection in the black glass well. Not an angel, not a sailor, just a man making hell. He reached for the old lie, but it wouldn't hold. His hands came up empty, his blood ran cold. And then far above, through the ride and foam, a golden thread, a landing light stitched open a home. He clawed toward the surface with the truth in his teeth. I don't wanna drown, just to feel some relief. And the phantom ship hovered like a hymn in the haze, not chasing him, not saving him, just offering away. She said, back to the sea, back to the deep. I don't crown drugged up ghosts who can't keep their feet. I'm a lighthouse, not a needle. I'm a vow, not a high. If you want my ship, you live. If you want that, you die. And the waves went quiet like they understood. He rose with his ribs full of hard-earned good. He finally heard it, clear as a bell breaking through. It's better to be sober by a lantern than dead with the blue. Hey, no more altar of hunger, no more prayers to a pit, and no more I'm fine while his whole world splits. He dropped the poison promise to the bottom of the sea, and the ocean didn't clap, it just let him be. He begged the sky for courage, not a shortcut to know. And the captain's voice answered like a slow beating drum. Choose your breath, choose your name, choose your hands clean enough to hold love the same. She said, come to the deck, come to the light, but you the crew sang low, like a storm turned quiet, while he shook through the troop and climbed up high. He found what the sea never gave him, steady and true. It's better to be sober by a lantern than dead and alone with the blues. So the fallen sailor learned, under moon, silver skies, that grace isn't a feeling, it's a choice you survive. And a phantom ship sail where the lost ones can heal, with a captain who loves hard and keeps it